Good morning, Western North Carolina. This is Brian over here at Ken Wilson Ford. It is Wednesday, March 25th, 2020, of course. And I just want to talk to y'all briefly about kind of the stuff that's going on recently with the virus and kind of what we're doing here, what Ford as a whole is doing here. Obviously, we all just woke up this morning to Buncombe County putting their stay in place order. Haywood County out here hasn't done that. State of North Carolina as a whole hasn't done that, but while we are still over here, of course, we're open, normal hours. We locally here at Ken Wilson Ford are trying to do whatever we can to be helpful during this crisis. And then, of course, Big Ford has got some really great programs that are going on also. So I just posted an article on my page, so you can kind of read the full version. But Ford, this is actually last week, but I only heard about the article officially this morning as I was looking deeper into it. But they actually have this Built to Lend a Hand program. And it's basically a big program from Ford that is allowing, now this is on new vehicle purchases and you do have to qualify for it, but you are eligible for a total of 6 months of payment deferral. And the way that actually is broken down is you can actually defer 3 months of payments from your own, and then Ford will actually pay an additional 3 months to get you that total 6 months. That's on any like eligible new vehicle purchase. So that is huge. So literally 3 months, are gone for you, and then another 3 months Ford pays for, which is freaking incredible. But of course, the other thing that Ford's pushing is remote sales, meaning that you don't have to come into the dealership here. You can do everything online or over the phone or via email or whatever we can do. If there's a vehicle that you're interested in, we can kind of show you everything. We can do the paperwork from here without you even having to show up. So that's something that Ford's been pushing. And then for anybody that currently has a loan through Ford Credit for any Ford vehicle, they said you can actually call in and discuss options if you are affected by a layoff or anything that might interrupt your normal payment schedule. So Ford Credit says they've got programs in place there. So if you already got a loan, just give them a call and they can discuss different options for what would work for you. Now the other thing, and this has been making the rounds over the weekend as well, is that Ford and GE and 3M and I think it's the United Auto Workers, which is a much bigger organization than just auto workers. But they've been tasked out to start making respirators, which I think is actually pretty cool. So Ford has currently closed a bunch of the manufacturing plants on new vehicles. So they're taking a little bit of a pause on building new vehicles for the most part right now. And they've actually shifted focus to, a lot of those employees have gone home, obviously, but they've shifted focus to kind of help out with the government in this crisis. So I think that's a really good positive thing also. It's nice to see when you've got, huge companies like Ford and, 3M and GE that are stepping up to, retool their factories to build something that they might not normally do, which I think is really cool. Now, on a normal thing, Ford right now also has, obviously we're in 2020 and we still have a decent amount of 2019 vehicles on the lot, both Mustangs, F-150s, some 250 gases, all kinds of stuff. I think we've got maybe an EcoSport, some Edges, but anywho, Ford's got this program going on right now where any new 2019 for the most part is eligible for 0% interest for the loan term of up to 84 months. So that is a really killer program. So if there's anybody that's been looking at buying, let's say a new F-150 or something like that, there are some killer deals going on. Now there are some like dealer incentives and stuff like that. You might be able to get, $1, $2, $3 grand off here and there depending on the vehicle. On top of that, sometimes there's a dealer incentive for that. But Ford Credit, Ford Finance has this really big program that's going on. And this is just a March thing. It has nothing to do with the recent events and all. But that's just a really big thing going on right now. And if you've not really done the math before, having no interest for a total of 84 months, a lot of people don't recommend an 84-month loan because you might not be on top of depreciation. But if you don't have interest built into that, that means that there's a lot more, you can get a much better payment plan and no additional payoff at the end. So especially if you're planning on keeping that vehicle all the way through the end of its life, that's honestly a really good deal. So if you're looking at, buying a new vehicle, now's the time to do that. I can definitely answer more questions on that if there's anybody specifically looking at any of the newer Fords here, like the 19s, or maybe if you just want to get a 20, because obviously there's new body styles like the Explorers and things like that. But the other thing I just wanted to point out is, you know, with all this remote sales and like courtesy delivery stuff, that is not actually something that's new for us here at Ken Wilson. You do not physically have to be here to actually purchase the vehicle. If you looked at something online, or if you came by after hours and you're dead set on a vehicle, we always encourage a test drive, right? I mean, that's part of it. So, I mean, we've always been able to, if you're at home, or if you're, maybe staying with friends or family or something like that, and you don't really want to risk getting out, or maybe you can't get out, maybe your transportation isn't reliable, we've always been able to bring a car to you to look at, if that's something that you're interested in. And then, of course, if, like I mentioned earlier, if there's a vehicle that you do like, it doesn't have to be new. It can be new, it can be a pre-owned. We can do everything remotely. I've actually done this a couple times so far, where somebody's in a different county and they don't want to drive 5 hours just to confirm this is the exact truck they want, when they've already picked it out and have the specs right and everything there. So that's something that we've been doing for a long time anyway. It's just kind of a Ken Wilson courtesy that we always do. We just want to do everything we can on a normal day to make the car buying process as simple as possible. So again, I always want to thank everybody for kind of hanging out with me and watching these videos. There's a lot going on in the news right now. I figured I would just kind of discuss kind of the key things that's going on right now with Ford. Again, we are still here. We actually do have some lot traffic, so it's not like, we're shut down, or, we've got our heads in the sand. So if anybody has questions, feel free to message me. I just want to be helpful, even if you're not looking at buying. If you just have questions, I talked to a guy yesterday who was just even curious if A, we're still open, and B, if we would actually honor the courtesy delivery. And I made him the point that, yeah, we've been doing this for a long time. So that's what kind of got me thinking about just kind of making this video this morning and kind of explaining it to y'all that might be sitting at home kind of maybe bored out of your mind. So again, thank you so much, and I hope everybody enjoys it. It's going to be nice out. I think the rain has finally moved out for the next few days. I think it's supposed to be like 60 today and up to like 80 by Friday and Saturday. So hopefully we can all get outside, maybe enjoy some fresh air and mow the lawn, or maybe go on a run or something. But again, as always, thank you so much, and have a great day.